Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GIC Saturday Talk. I'm Youngju, student of Jeonnam National University. I'm here as a volunteer for the GIC Talk program, and it is my great personal honor to host today's talk for the first time. Before we start, please make sure that electronic devices have been turned off and switch it to silent mode. As everyone may know, this year, Ben Bokjeong, one of the most respected Buddhist leaders in Korea, passed away. Personally, I'm not a Buddhist, but his essay, 무소유, resonated in my heart a lot. So today's topic is very interesting for me, as I found it very interesting to get to know what contemporary Westerners think of Buddhism and for what reason they began to look at Buddhism with great interest. And now, I'd like to introduce you to this topic, a Westerner's perspective on Buddhism. Today's topic will be given by Dr. Robert Menzies. He's from Winnipeg, Canada. He's visiting professor at Jeonnam National University. He's going to talk about the history of Buddhism, various sects in it, and main figures of the day. He'll also cover the ceremony of Buddhist service and mythology of Buddhism. Let's welcome Dr. Robert Menzies with a big round of applause.
Thank you. And before I actually start the talk, can I get you to call out those two maps? Just sitting down before the talk, I had a chance to talk to some people, and I have a couple of new friends from Korea. So I thought I'd show you. It's very interesting to me. My wife and I have experienced nothing but warmth in Gwangju. There must be something in the water that you people have over here, because everybody's so happy all the time. And I would like to bottle that and ship it to Canada, because I have not come across any grumpy Koreans. And the other thing is, I'd like to bottle the water and ship it back to Canada, because Canadians don't necessarily know a lot about Korea. And Koreans, as soon as I say I'm from Canada, everybody in Korea knows that Canada is part of North America, but is not the United States. And when I say I'm from Winnipeg, somebody says, "Oh, Winnipeg, I've been to Calgary, and I've been to Vancouver, and I've been to Toronto. Where's Winnipeg? Oh, it's partway between Calgary and Toronto. Oh, I know where that is. Winnipeg's very flat. There are a lot of farms near Winnipeg." Koreans know so much more about Canadian culture, and I was speaking with someone just before the talk, and he has been he's been to Canada. He's traveled more places in Canada. So, and this brings me to the actual content. How do I, as a Westerner, non-Westerner, talk about Buddhism that isn't just one thing? Where do I go with this? So, one of the primary reasons that Buddhism has expanded the way it has is because it gently inserts itself into new cultures. Buddhism is a world religion. And when we study, it's one of the terms that we use in academic circles. There are 5 world religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. One of the reasons that Buddhism is a world religion is because it is found in many different cultures. It started in India, it spread, and now you find Buddhists in pretty much every country in the world. There's a very large Japanese Buddhist population in Brazil, which is not something you would immediately think of. The second thing, or the next thing to talk about, is it adapts to new cultures. Exactly what I just said. Buddhism in Korea is a slightly different form than it is in China or Japan or North America, because it adapts itself by saying, for example, let's talk about diet. No, I'll talk about diet in a little bit. Let's not talk about diet now. I just finished eating. I had lunch before I like food. And so any chance I get, I talk about food. And I'm always hungry. One of the ways ways that Buddhism adapts to new cultures, specifically philosophy, for example, is there are 4 general stages of how Buddhism expands. The first stage is you have monks who travel with traders, and they move into a new country, and they continue to carry on their philosophical tradition in the language of the place they came from. So when they came from India into what is now Afghanistan or into China, they would still write and do their philosophy in Sanskrit. There are 3 basic streams of Buddhism, and I'm going to go through this fairly quickly just to give you a sense of the development of the tradition, but I don't want to belabor the point. Gautama was from around there. He went to about there to preach. And the tradition that we find in Sri Lanka and along Southeast Asia, along in there, this is Theravada. This is the conservative tradition. Literally, it means the tradition of the ancestors, the tradition of the elders. It's very conservative. It takes as the only teachings of the Buddha the Pali Canon. So it means that the Pali Canon, the 3 baskets, the Tripitaka, are the only teachings that Gautama gave. Everything else might be interesting and important, but they're not really only the teachings of Gautama. Meditation is central to Buddhism, but meditation is not simply sitting in a temple, chanting and praying and being inside yourself. Yes, that happens in sun temples. Yes, absolutely. But the tradition can also be done, meditation in the tradition can also be done when you are working. If you are only doing one thing at a time, sweeping the floor, washing the dishes, studying, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom. There are actually references to that in some Japanese Zen writings. Taking care of bodily functions, if you're only doing one thing at a time, if you're only thinking about one thing, you're not distracted thinking about other things, that is meditation. Thank you.
Let me express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Robert Menzies for his interesting talk. We have prepared some certificates of appreciation for him, which will be presented by Gwangju International Center's Director, Dr. Shin Kyung-ho.
I never have heard such an extensive lecture on Buddhism from anybody else but a professor from Canada. Thank you very much for your kindness.